Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Girls Frontline, aka Girls Frontline, episode 3. In the last episode, we finally met the commander. We went through one mission, a test mission, but a mission nonetheless, and now we have a new mission to recover M4A1, if I'm not mistaken, that's her name, that is being threatened by Sangvis Ferri, and more specifically, the Executioner. I think that's the name of the advanced T-Dole that Sangvis Ferri sent after M4A1, and of course M4A1 carries important data. We don't know what that data is, but we know it's important enough for Sangvis Ferri to really not want Griffin to get access to it. That's my second iced coffee today. I woke up way too early for my own good, even though I slept for 10 hours straight. Yeah, that's my life. That's my sleeping schedule. Hopefully, some breathtaking action of those frontline will perk me right up. I played a little bit of the gacha, a little bit more of it. I still can't get past the last mission of chapter 2, to be perfectly honest with you. My team making probably sucks, and it's only yesterday that I found out that you can use excess XP to level up your dolls. You don't have to like make an echelon of level 1 dolls and slowly level them up. You can use that excess XP to bump them up straight to 30 or to whatever other level you want them to be. That made my life a little bit easier, but I still can't get past that one stage. That's probably for the better, because from what I can see, we are nearing the end of the second chapter of the gacha here. So maybe I'm just, not gonna actually play the gacha, and I'm just gonna, I don't know, farm earlier stages so I don't get ahead with the story and I can be, unspoiled and watch the anime as it is. Maybe after, I don't know, the anime is done with the second chapter, I'm gonna finish the second chapter in the game. Once the anime is done with the third chapter, I'm gonna go through the third chapter, something like that. So as to not spoil myself too much. Uh, although I heard on my Discord server actually, which you can join, link is down in the description, that this anime might go a little bit of a different route than the gacha, even through the sheer fact that there is the commander here. The commander doesn't appear as an actual proper character in the game until fairly late in the story, from what I recall. The commander is usually pretty much omitted, doesn't have any lines, doesn't speak, doesn't act. The player is the commander. So the fact that we have, I forgot her name, but we have the pink-haired commander right now in the anime, that alone will make the story of the anime just a little bit different from the game. Anything else that needs to be mentioned? No, I don't think so. I think we should just jump right into it. And not prolong it any further. Oh, right. This episode will be coming out a little bit later. Very later than usual, because of my aforementioned issues with my sleep patterns. Girls Frontline comes out at 18 o'clock. Yesterday I went to sleep at like 16 o'clock. I just passed out in my bed and I woke up at 2 in the morning today. So I wasn't able to release Girls Frontline at the usual time. I probably should avoid trying to release episodes on the very same day they're airing, to be perfectly honest with you. The same way I was doing it in the previous season, and I didn't have any trouble being on time. This season, I'm trying to release shows on the very same day they air, and I'm clearly not capable of doing that consistently. So I should probably change that. Maybe I'll change it like mid-season. Maybe I'm gonna change it in season 3 of my reactions. We'll see. In any case, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Girls Frontline, or Dolls Frontline, or whatever you want to call it. Episode 3. It's the correct one loaded up. So, Girls Frontline, as the Subs Please calls it, episode 3 by Subs Please is gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we're starting in medias res. Oh no, last time on Dragon Ball Z. Jian Xian, that's her name, right. Right, we fought that high tier Tidal in the last episode, that's right. And she was able to submit the data about the location of M4A1 Scarecrow, yeah. She was able to submit the data about her location, and then she self-destructed. Right. Right, and those two new high-tier T-dolls. Or was she alone, or was she with a friend? I forgot. But yeah, on the bell tower. Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I completely forgot about those. Yeah, M4 ain't going down easily. What are you trying to do? Creating a makeshift communicator device? Sugar cube. Jamming? Now, why is M4A1 in direct contact with Persica and not with Griffin, though? That strikes me as odd. Right? If Griffin sent a rescue mission after her, she should contact Griffin to figure out the best rendezvous point so that they know where to meet. And so far, it seems like she only contacted Persica, and Persica told her, hey, figure out how to contact Griffin, how to meet up with them. And she has no idea where Griffin is gonna be looking for her. So that's kinda strikes me as odd. Is Persica working behind Griffin's back? It seems, so far, it seems to me like Persica is working behind Griffin's back, and Team AR is kind of like her private team that does her bidding. I wonder if I'm onto something. The Echo. Only because M4A1 didn't contact you for some reason. Persica? I don't think so, but yeah. Scarecrow proved that no security is unbreakable. You can triangulate data, for example, right? Oh, that's not a good call. Ah, okay. What? What's that about cats? Is it the mechanic of finding a stray cat and putting it in the dorms? That's the area where A4M1 was. We have a new mission for you. Of course. That bumps up the stakes significantly. The music. The music is very early Disney. That took me off guard. Yeah, bionic cat ears then? Yeah, bionic cat ears. Codename Sugar Cube. Right. Okay, so Persica is open about it. Okay. I thought she might be working behind our backs, but doesn't seem so. And you didn't think to figure out a common rendezvous point. Same location. Yeah. Hmm. It is now. Ah. Yeah, they can be repaired. Even if they're destroyed, isn't their consciousness like somewhere in the cloud? Yeah, exactly. Even if they get rebuilt, they are still the same character. Good girls get head pats. Hmm. Why would that be? Yeah, booby traps, mines, drones, robots. Man, I can't wait for uh, Girls Frontline 2. It's supposed to have XCOM-like gameplay, so very similar to this actual mission. Yeah, not clear. That's important as well. No, don't. Can Tito's even get fat? Are they mechanical or are they biomechanical? Yeah, the personality of your gun waifus is important. Sure. I guess that's a probable explanation. But if Griffin those were there, that means it's fairly nearby, so... Bell tower? Okay, Zhangxian predicted where she's gonna be. That's cool. Cue another Sangvis passing by. How did I know that? Oh, it's a high tier Sangvis. I love her hands. Okay, at least they get to live. And for leaving a trail? Booby trap. And she has you in a choke point. Yep. Yep, exactly. What kind of a weapon is that? I've no clue what kind of weapon it is, but I love it. What are those spinny things? Oh, it's a sword. It's not a gun. Executioner. Nice. Okay, she has Heelys. Okay, we're not getting a cliffhanger. Action kicking in. I like the executioner. Booby traps? Yeah. Yeah, screaming didn't really help, did it? Should have swung your sword, maybe. Oh, okay. Doesn't matter. Setting traps is a way of fighting. Okay, that's not a good situation to be in. Griffin to the rescue, or... Or is it a mission fail? Griffin to the rescue. Griffin to the rescue. Let's go. Don't move her, just fucking shoot her dead. Right, the clue in the barn or church or whatever it is. Sugar cubes. Okay. Hmm. Grab her, load a different OS in her head, fix her up, and use her. Or do that. Sure. That works. I don't think her head exists anymore. Honestly, if I was Griffin, I would be using Sangvis dolls. Just load the Griffin OS on their systems and use their advanced bodies and weapons. I wonder, is that a thing in the game where you eventually get to use some Sangvis dolls? Or are you limited to only like, real guns? AK-47, like MP5, M4A1, and so on? Or do you actually get those that are using non-existent sci-fi weapons like the Sangvis dolls are? I'm curious. Because in Azure Lane, you eventually get to use the meta ships, right? In Arknights, I believe some members of the reunion eventually join you. I wonder if it's the case in Girls Frontline. Let me know, because I'm curious. Just, don't spoil me the story or anything. Just a simple, yes, at level 60 commander, you get access to research tasks where you can create sci fi weapons or something. Griffin and Kryuger, Warner Bros. Japan, Sunburn Network Technology. Silence 01. Okay. I think this episode covered the last. Why did I freeze for a moment? I think the last episode, this episode covered the last mission of Chapter 2 of Girls Frontline. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that it did. So that makes it so I should be able to play that last mission of Chapter 2 and not spoil myself anything. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, let's go through the episode again. Yeah, last time on Dragon Ball Z. I'm guessing M4 A1 shot that drone down to get the communication module, or a battery for her existing communicator. I don't know. Was it rendezvous point? Do we have the data? Griffin started a rescue mission. I really was under the impression this whole time that Persica is somehow working behind Griffin's back, right? This shot in particular, it always signifies some sort of some sort of a hidden motive, right? It always signifies that the person depicted here isn't a friend. It's perhaps a hidden enemy, or is hiding something, right? You can see the eyes, there is a deep shadow, there is a slight smirk. It really makes you think that Persica is working behind Griffin's back. And also how she refers to Griffin in the second person. Griffin started the rescue mission. Not we started the rescue mission, but Griffin. That other group that I am not a part of. Even though she officially is a part of Griffin, right? At least from what I understand. Be careful, codename Sugar Cube. Sure. The OP is still great. I have to check something. No, it's animated on 2s. I thought for a moment that it's animated on 1s, but no, it's 2s. Okay. I love the art style in the OP. Honestly. Yep, it's great. And I love the music in the OP. Nothing is perfect and no one can be perfectly trusted. Exactly. We'll continue the mission, but in a different way. Does your new commander like cats? I wonder if it's a callback, call out, whatever you want to call it, to the system in Girls Frontline Gacha, where you get like stray animals and you can put them in the dorms. And perhaps we're gonna get a stray cat to the dorms of our commander, of Jianxian's team. But now that makes me think maybe he was talking about Persica. Not sure. Kryuger, do you mean the fact that Hylian recognizes him talking about the cat makes me think that it might have been actually Persica. And yeah, it's confirmed that Jianxian is a female, if there was ever any doubt. Born in Drin, moved to Odessa, graduated from Odessa Military School, employed at PMC Griffin, conducting S, fighting B, something A, physical fitness, something A. Yeah, Jianxian is great. Yeah, I was wondering here, why did M4A1 not make contact? But what Jianxian figured out later, that she wanted to avoid getting them involved, kinda makes sense. Although if Griffin dolls are out there on a seemingly regular patrol, right? They aren't like deep into enemy territory, because those are it's not a full team of Tito's, those are just two of them. They aren't dummy linked, and they're on a regular patrol, not on a super stealthy, super important mission or anything. Makes me think that it's a place close to Griffin territory, or at least with, or even within Griffin territory. So maybe M4A1 should have made contact. Maybe they could have run towards Griffin HQ, uh, before the executioner caught up to them, and maybe they could have gave a signal to Griffin headquarters to send a team to meet them halfway through. Feels kind of iffy, although I don't know where exactly they are, how far they are from the headquarters. Maybe there's some mountains on their way. I have no clue. I don't know about that. Just makes me, question M4A1's decision. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Watch out for the enemy, of course. Reapers are done, but it still doesn't feel good losing your Titles, right? They act like actual people. The fact that they can get repaired and their memories are backed up and all that, that's one thing, and it's great that it's a thing, right? But still, watching them get destroyed can't feel good. I don't know if Titles feel pain. I would assume they don't, or at least I would assume that they can turn off their pain receptors. I don't know. And that with 16 lab, which is under Persica. And here's Persica. She develops the technology of Titles for Griffin. Why does she have bionic cat ears? I don't know. I guess every gacha needs a cat girl, and since those Frontline is fairly grounded in reality, they couldn't just have a proper cat girl, so they have a girl, they have a waifu who just mounted cat ears on her head. Because. I forgot my sugar cube. Sugar cube being M4A1. Here's the coordinates. And of course, the Titles, the waifus care about the commander. The care goes both ways. It's not just the commander who cares about the Titles, it's the Titles that care about the commander as well. Makes me remember the Christmas event in Girls Frontline when all those Titles were fighting for the commander's coin. That was a nice event. I wasn't able to farm any of the stages because they are way too hard for me, but it was a nice bit of story. Good girls deserve the most headpats. Yeah, the M14 is very well coordinated. They help each other. They have nice chemistry, and of course, all that matters. Now, this you should lay off the sweets. That makes me question the nature of Titles. If they are fully mechanical and if they use regular food in some sort of a bioreactor to power themselves up, then it shouldn't matter what they eat. It should have no impact on their bodies, right? Even more so, sugar, like pure glucose, should be the best kind of fuel for them because it has the most energy value. Glucose is basically pure energy in sugar form. It I don't think it's like, I don't know, sugar crystallizes within their joints and lowers their performance, or they get fat. Or are Titles actually biomechanical? Are their insides, their skeletons actually mechanical, and they have servos for muscles and whatnot? But the outer shell is actual biological skin and tissue, and perhaps even fat tissue, and that can get damaged and they can get fat. But from what we've seen during battles, when Titles get damaged, they don't bleed. So there isn't any biological, compound to them, any biological parts. I think, I think this comment about you should lay off the sweets because it impacts your performance. I think they're just playing it off as a joke. Like, a couple of girls are sitting here talking about how they're getting fat and they should lay off their sugar, like waifus in your school romances usually do. But they are mechanical constructs. So why would sugar have any impact on them? I'm probably way overthinking it. It's probably just a joke. Maybe a one-off joke, maybe a running gag, I don't know, and I shouldn't be treating it seriously, but I can't help but get hung up on things like that. And it's apparently bitter, so they have taste buds. And of course, Zhang Xian figured out where M4A1 will be way before they actually got a confirmation. How good of a commander is she? It's unfair how good she is. I love Executioner's design. I'm a huge fan of asymmetric design of hands, of arms, right? Her left arm is just regular sized so that she can hold a pistol. Her right arm is fucking massive so she can wield that executioner's sword. The same reason why I love Moose in Arc Knights, for example. It's great. And I also love the design of and the trope of like mechanical claws on a biological looking creature. Same reason why I love Moose. Her claw is made of iridium, and here the claw is mechanical, and I love this trope. She's using a sword in predominantly a ranged weapon, firearm focused universe. I wonder if it puts her at a disadvantage. I don't think it does. And she has a pistol to fall back on, so there's that. And yeah, her goal isn't to engage some, weak, tiny little lolly dolls. Her goal is to go after M4A1. So she just goes after her. Now that's a great move on M4's part. Uh, Perhaps those weren't actually booby traps. It was just some wire strung between a couple of rocks, and there wasn't any explosives or anything. And yet, it made them decide on a different route. A route that creates a choke point that M4 can use. Hmm. I really like the weapon designs and, in general, the designs of Sangvis dolls. The weapons are. I have a thing for guns like this that are flat and tall, and the barrel is basically a vertical slit. It's not round; it's a vertical slit or a horizontal slit. I don't know. I like this in gun design. And I hope that we can eventually get like sci-fi weapons in the gacha, and we're not limited just to real life guns. Now, don't get me wrong, the designs in Girls Frontline gacha are great. I have Thompson set as my home screen waifu, but I wouldn't mind having Executioner as one of my T-dolls. I wouldn't mind it at all. And she has Heelys. Reminds me of Hell from Tact of Destiny. And I love that she uses a melee weapon. And it's so weirdly, wildly shaped. Some after images, animated on ones. Nice. I really like Executioner. I think, yeah, I really like the design of Sangvis dolls. I really liked Scarecrow for those floating guns. I really like Executioner for her huge ass claw arm. I really like Sangvis Titles. And just like that, Executioner has been defeated by inferior Griffin dolls. How could it be? My plan has been foiled. Furia cubes leading to a data disk. And yeah, M4A1 just unloads her frustration by unloading some lead. A bit of a waste, if you ask me. I honestly, I mentioned it during the reaction segment. I honestly would be grabbing those high tier, high tech Sangvis dolls, load up some Linux on them, load up Griffin OS or whatever, fix them up, and use them to fight other Sangvis dolls. Unless they have some safety measures against that, like an anti-tamper device that blows up if you try to load up a different personality on them or something. I don't know. That could very well be the case. But yeah, it's a waste to let high-tech dolls like that go to waste. So I hope they don't actually go to waste. And yeah, glorious return. And our next mission will be to save M4 friends. I'm assuming, because of course she promised that she will save them all. Silence 01. Hmm. Yeah, that was a good episode. I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, I to be perfectly honest with you, at the beginning, episode 1, episode 2, even to a point, I wasn't quite sold on this series quite yet. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but especially episode 1 was kind of confusing with all the info dump and technical mumbo jumbo and whatnot. But right now, by episode 3, I'm invested. I'm interested, I'm invested in the characters, I'm invested in the world, especially in all the technology, and give me all the techno bubble you have. I'm in for it. I really liked it, and I'm gonna be waiting for episode 4. Yeah, yeah, I mean, nothing more to say. I really did enjoy it. And I hope this will become like the baseline for for anime adaptations of gacha. I know that there's an Azure Lane anime, and I know that it's apparently not that great. And this is actually good. It holds up perfectly, even if you're not playing the gacha. Yeah, even if you're not playing the game, you can easily watch this anime and still have a good time and still enjoy it. And I think that should be the measure by which we should measure anime based on games and other kinds of media. Kinda like the Blade and Soul. I think it was Blade and Soul. Yeah, the Blade and Soul anime held up perfectly well without the game. Actually, it was only after I finished watching Blade and Soul that I found out that there's a game, Blade and Soul MMO, and I enjoyed my time with the anime thoroughly. There was Eska and Logi no Atelier, I think, also anime based on Eska no Logi no Atelier game in the Atelier series, and it also held up perfectly well as a standalone anime. Tact of Destiny held up well as a standalone anime. Okay, maybe not all that well. because there's a lot of secrets and mysteries and loose threads that were left there, and you're kind of forced to get into the gacha to figure that stuff out. So maybe less so. But so far, those Frontline seems like the kind of anime that actually holds up perfectly fine on its own. And I hope that's going to be the baseline. I hope that when the Arknights anime comes, it's going to be at least as good, if not better. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'm gonna get my dailies in Girls Frontline done. And I'm gonna record some Symphogear maybe. We'll see. Yeah, it's slowly getting light outside. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna spend a nice day. That's what I know. I enjoyed my time with episode 3 of Those Frontline thoroughly, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. But let me know down in the comments, what did you think of this episode? What do you think of this series? What did you think of my reaction to it? What do you think of all my theories? Just, leave it spoiler free. I beg of you. I don't want to read any spoilers. If you have any sort of doubts if it's a spoiler or not, don't say it. Or you can join my Discord server, link in the description. There's a Those Frontline channel there, and you can talk with fellow Those Frontline fans in there with spoilers and everything. Uh, and you don't have to, care about not spoiling me. You can talk to your fellow um, Girls Frontline fans. I said that already. I'm repeating myself. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. And subscribe to the channel so you get notified of future releases. It's not just Those Frontline, but also Arifureta Season 2, Tokyo 24-ku, Sabikui Bisco, and aforementioned Symphogear that will be releasing today. Episode 3 will be releasing for you guys on YouTube, and episode 4 will be releasing for my Patreon supporters. And yes, you can support me on Patreon. Link is down in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to a special Patreon-only Discord channel on my open Discord server. I just said the exact same shtick that Nozivix has. Sorry for that. I'm stealing your lines. And for $10 a month, you get early access to my non-seasonal shows, which this season is Symphogear. But yeah, I mentioned that when I said that patrons are gonna get early access to. I'm repeating myself again. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Anything else that bears mention? Share this video if you want to, if you know someone to share it with. It always helps, honestly. It helps if you share this video, it helps if you leave a like, it helps if you leave a dislike, it helps if you leave a comment. YouTube algorithm really likes any sort of interactions. Watch time and all that just doesn't matter as much as interactions, I found. Maybe I'm mistaken, maybe I'm not, but hey, an interaction certainly doesn't hurt. And yeah, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers! And here's a list of my Patreon supporters. And you can be on this list for just $1 a month. You'll be in your very own category even.